What up, folks? What up? This is Instructor Turner. I'm bringing this part 2 to you guys, the real deal, part 2, about the combative mindset. Alright, today we're going to talk about the shooter versus the gun firer. Alright, what is the difference? A shooter is someone who has their mindset ready and says to themselves, okay, I've practiced enough, I've done it, I got my mindset together knowing that I'm going to win this fight no matter what. They get faced with the same challenges as the gun firer does, but the difference is, the person that just points their gun out there and fires actually didn't realize that reality was as bad as it really was, and so therefore they let fear take them over, and the training takes a back seat to the fear. You can't have that. Gun shooters are people who allows their training to kick in over that fear. And when you allow that to happen, you become successful in your gunfight, or at least you become, it is more visually apparent that something realistic is happening for the better cause of the ending. All right. Now, I read something today that kind of threw me for a loop. About opinions and all this other stuff. Listen to me. Combative mindset is for you. You, who's ever watching this video, is for you to get your mind together and make your own decisions. Again, nobody else's resumes can help you to resolve a combative situation. Nobody else's resumes can help your thought process. It is about you taking techniques, thinking about them very clearly, and saying to yourself this: does that work for me? Okay? Does that make sense? And I don't care what anybody else tells you, what anybody else's opinions are. Okay? If somebody comes at you and says, do it this way because it works better, you still have to take that, say, does it work better for me? That's why I don't show one thing in class. Alright? We talk about all the things. But I ask them all the time, if my stuff doesn't make sense, why are you following it? Exactly. Don't follow things that don't make sense. Okay? There are a million gun instructors in this world, and they will all tell you a million different things. How do you know who to listen to? You don't. That's why you use your mindset to say, does this make sense? And if it makes sense, that means it works. If it does not work, then it doesn't work. Think about this. There are things you're going to do in combative mindset, and there are other things you're going to do in a more competition or some other type mindset that they will not work the same. Okay? Perfect example. You saw me talk about the press check. How often will that work for you in combat? Okay? When will you ever press check your gun really? Probably before you leave the house. Alright? You probably wouldn't do a press check during a gunfight. Okay? I mean, that's just very realistic. It's probably going to happen prior to any gunfight. So practicing it as one of your systematic movements, think about it. Just think about it and make your own decision. It's another one. Putting that gun up fast. Holstering that gun in a gunfight. It'll probably never happen because guess what? That gun no longer belongs to you after you shot somebody. Okay, it is now property of whatever police department is going to be responding to that call, and it's probably going to hit the ground before it goes back into your holster. So let's practice on things like holding that gun out there, pointing in a safe direction, saying, somebody scream and call the police. I need help. Okay, when the police arrive, you need to practice on learning how to put that gun down safely because they're going to take it from you anyway. All right. If you reholster it, guess what? They're going to just come over and they're going to take it out your holster anyway. So I would much rather put that gun down on the ground than to have it out and them come take it out my holster. It's going to happen anyway. All right? You're not going to be allowed to take that gun home. Okay? So when we think about things, when we think about doing things, make sure you're using the right mindset. People, don't allow anyone to be the arrow pointer for your mindset, your thought process. Yes, there are great techniques that a lot of instructors put out. Try them out. See if they work for you. If they work for you, great. If they don't, get your own mindset together and say, hey, look, this is me. I'm Instructor Turner. You guys, if y'all watch my videos enough, y'all know for a fact I am not the person to tell you to follow my way. All right. Yes, I have some opinions on some things, and it's always going to be that way because for me, it works. For you, it may not work. Get your mindset together. Do what works for you. Stop listening and following everybody just because they say. Again, my experience does nothing for you in a combative situation. All right. So anyhow, what we're going to do today, I'm going to go through these videos. I'm going to have a voiceover on the videos. So it's going to be the only video part. You guys get to look at this smooth baby face. I mess with y'all. I just, for the last 3 days, people don't tell me I had a baby face. I was like, what the heck? I got all these, this hair poking out and doing whatever. Look, ladies and gents, I enjoy y'all watching my videos and enjoying my videos. So make sure you like, share, and pass these videos on. And here we go, man. These are going to be some real world videos that actually happen. Officer involved, civilian involved. And I'm going to explain and analyze these videos for you as I see it while they happen. Okay? And at the end, I got a not really a special treat for you, but hopefully it's going to be an eye-opener for some people to get out there and get some training, man. I don't care where you get training at. Make sure you get make sure you look at these people's experience and something before they train you. Don't just go to somebody's training because they said they police or said they an NRA instructor. I can show you some videos and people shooting themselves talking about they was instructors. So make sure you make proper decisions. It is all about your mindset, your decisions, your opinion that is going to work for you. Let's get it. Alright guys, we're going to take a look at this. When I'm talking about gunfire, the first couple of videos will be about gunfires. And what we're looking at is the way these people got tossed into bad scenarios and the way that they responded caused them to fire the gun. Alright, no alignment of the sights, no verification of what's really going on. Let me just punch that gun out there and shoot. You see here, she shoots from stomach level to the bad guy, which I don't think she had a legal right to do. Here you had a really bad situation in the Detroit Police Department where a bad guy comes in wielding a gun. He takes out the first officer sitting at the desk, the female. She's already under the desk right now. You can only see her feet by the chair. And you see all these other officers just firing their guns over the counters, not looking down their sights. They haven't devised a plan to say, hey, let's one officer move to the left, one officer move to the right. Maybe we can take this guy out. Now, a lot of you guys are thinking, man, this is the reality of a gunfight. And that's my whole point, all right? No matter how many shots you lay into this guy, he's not going to go down until his body has told him the fight is done, which is why you have to learn to be combative thinking in gunfights, because these type of things will always send you in the wrong direction. All right, they were able to take him down with one shot. Right about here is when the guy goes down. All right, now next one, same thing, gunfirer. Okay, this video pretty much speaks for itself. All right, here's a clerk who has a gun but doesn't have any formal training. It just shows, and these videos show all of the lack of training. All right, these guys are gonna come in, start shooting with him. And what does he do? He pulls his gun out and just starts shooting. Now, he don't even know where his partner is right now, and he's just shooting crazy. All right? Now, he does shoot in their direction, but, again, he's only firing the gun. Now, here's a real bad scenario where an officer lost his life. God, bless him. But the fact remains, the bad guy is a gun shooter. He's lining his sights up. He's pressing the fight. He did everything he was supposed to do if it were a good gunfight on his end. But the officers, scared, the fear hit them. They could not respond accordingly, and that's what happened. Next video up is the three officers I told you about. Look at the officer in the middle. He's a gun firer. He gets down. He don't know what the heck is going on. And instead of going into the fight, keeping his eyes open, he ducks down, closes his eyes, and backs away. Now we'll move on to what I call the gun shooters. It's going to be apparently obvious that what I mean the difference between gun shooter. Look at the officer at the top of the screen and the officer at the bottom of the screen. Both of them have their gun sights in their eyes, or at least their gun aligned with their sight of vision, all right, to the bad guy. All right, they're not just shooting. These guys are placing accurate rounds in the direction they're supposed to be shooting. Their muzzles are staying in place, and it turns out to a good thing for them, except for the officer at the bottom of the screen who appears that he got shot, or either the window right behind him got shot out. Okay, next video coming up, and as you see, they took him out with a good headshot, and he actually did not die from that. All right, but anyhow, next up, civilian, paying attention to everything going on. Again, another good gun shooting situation. This older man, I think he's about 68 years old, waits for the perfect time. The bad guy turns away from him. Boom, gun in his sights. Gun in his eye line. All right, and he presses out and he presses the fight. All right, good combative thinking, good combative mindset. He didn't let the fear overcome him. All right, he even followed these guys out the door to make sure that they were not going to come back in. All right, excellent job by this guy. Here you are, another situation. Security officer sitting at the front desk. He doesn't run, get up, run away, turn his back to the bad guys. He presses this fight the way that you're supposed to with training. All right, he gets those feet moving. All right, he stays into the fight with these knuckleheads. All right, this is a gun shooter. And last but not least, guys, here's the video I told you about. I'm going to let you make your own decision on it and let you listen to it. Y'all have a great one.
Around New Jersey, around the clock. This is News 12 New Jersey.
My daughter saw everything. Saw me get choked and hit and slapped and beaten up.
Caught on camera, a home invasion so violent it's difficult to watch. A young mother viciously attacked in front of her terrified 3-year-old. More details tonight in a story you saw first on 12, and it is truly disturbing. I'm Della Cruz. We waited until this late to show you more of last Friday's brutal attack. The victim says she wants you to see it and hope it leads to the suspect's arrest. News 12 New Jersey's John Kleekamp is outside Millburn Police Headquarters for us tonight. John, that video is very chilling.
Absolutely. As you said, it is hard to watch, but the silver lining here is that Millburn Police have that video too, and they believe it's going to help them catch this guy, hopefully before he hurts anyone else. An alarm company was installing a security system at the victim's home on Cypress Street this afternoon. A totally understandable reaction after this. Around 10:30 Friday morning, the young mother of 2 was attacked by an intruder who did not care that she was unarmed and putting up no resistance, or that her little girl was in the room, watching her mother struggling with a stranger who kicked his way inside. During the assault, she made a conscious decision to take whatever the intruder dished out.
I knew that if I started screaming, my daughter would too, and I was afraid that she would get hurt. I took it. I didn't cry the entire time.
Nanny cam on the mantle captured the whole thing. Brutal punches and vicious kicks that sent her flying. At one point, he places her in a chokehold and slams her to the floor. Then he drags her away. You can hear the dread in her voice. "Oh no," she says, before he shoves her down the stairs. It is video that sickens everyone who sees it. Veteran cops and, of course, the victim's husband.
I was in the room with about 7 officers, and we were all just speechless. It was like an out-of-body experience.
And yet, as hard as it is to watch, the couple say they want people to see it.
They need to help us get him off the streets. He's not just a burglar. He's violent.
He certainly is. She ended up with a concussion and several stitches inside her mouth. He got away with jewelry, several pieces of jewelry, including her wedding ring, but they are grateful that their little girl was not hurt, and their 1.5-year-old son, who was napping upstairs, he was not hurt, and they're very grateful that camera was working. He says he got it working just last week. Now it's their best hope of catching this guy. Anyone who knows who he is or where he is has to call Millburn Police. In Millburn, I'm John Kleekamp, News 12, New Jersey.